Hello, loves. Hello, hello. Hills here from the Blue Flame. How was that Pisces Supermoon Eclipse for everyone? I can say for myself, it was very excavating and opening. And it feels like we are really, 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 really moving into some deep territory, especially within our heart spaces as we continue on right now towards the equinox and deeper into this eclipse wormhole. Today, I have popped on just for a short message to share some fun bits about the equinox that's coming on the 22nd of September at 5:43 a.m. Pacific time for all of us. So that means for some of us, the equinox itself will be on the 23rd, but this is when the equalization, that moment of balance, reaches its pinnacle. It is also the moment that the sun tips over from 29 of Virgo into the 0 of Libra. So I spoke quite a bit about the equinox in our Pisces supermoon video. So I'm going to end cap this little update with that video in case you want to dive some more into the astrologicals. And as I always do, when I post the link to this video in the members portal and the Patreon, for the full community and also publicly, I'll post the link, and the chart for the equinox that I ran will be there. So if you want to head over, link below, you'll be able to find the chart that I used for this Libra equinox. Now, the big energetic that I have been asked to or guided to come on and speak about, to share with everyone, is an energy that's happening in the days between Tuesday's full moon in Pisces and Sunday's equinox. This might be Wednesday and Monday for you. I'm in the Pacific time zone right now, so that's the energetic of time that I'm working with. In these days between, we have Venus, the evening star, in her evening star phase, moving through a conjunction with the stellar dimension that we call the fixed star Arcturus. This means that between now and really all the way up until October 2nd's Libra new moon, as the sun sets for everyone on the planet, just after sunset, you will be able to see the Venus star and the Arcturus star in the sky together. This is going to be most pronounced over the course of the rest of this week into that day of the equinox. As we move closer to the new moon, they're going to start to separate. Arcturus is going to be coming closer and closer to the sun because, of course, during the Aries full moon, the sun and Arcturus are exactly conjunct, as is and the moon is on the other side. So we have a really lovely Arcturus gateway energy for that. But it's this piece, this Venusian Arcturian energy, and Venus at the 29 of Libra, just ready to tip over, which I'm being guided to alight for us, and also in an Earth Air Grand Trine. So Venus at the 29 of Libra, this is sign of rulership. Venus is the ruler of Libra. So we're coming into a completion point of that rulership. We have just spent much of September with Venus in Libra. We are just coming out of a trine between Venus and Jupiter, expanding the energies of relationship, rebalancing our relationships, coming into a more equinamitable. I don't even know, that might be a made-up word, but I'm liking it, so we're going to say it one more time. Equinamitable sort of environment in our relationships. Now, we often think of Venus energy as like Aphrodite and desire and beauty and all of the things, love. But really, what we're connecting to when we're connecting to Venus is the full creational environment, exploration, potential that we associate with the feminine, with the mother. Now let's take a quick look at this Earth Air Grand Trine, because I feel like it's going to help us to understand a little bit more what these available energies are for us. We have the sun shifting during the equinox, right? From 29 of Virgo, the last degree of that earth sign, of the earth priestess sign. So here we have those virginal energies, and that means wholeness, whole unto self, unencumbered by other, unencumbered. So another way to look at what this virgin energy is would be in whole expression of self, connecting to divine. When we talk about unencumbered, what we mean is that we are not placing anything or anyone between ourselves and the divine. We are not saying, I can't personally access the divine, so I need this preacher or this priest or this high priestess to access the divine for me. Only they have the capacity to communicate with the divine. When we remember what it means to be virgin, to be virginal, to be whole unto self and unencumbered by other, it means that we are taking our power to communicate with the divine back. We are taking that power back. We are saying, I will no longer give the power of communication to my higher self, to the highest powers, to the source, to the creator of the universes. I will no longer give that power to another. I will remember that I am also part of source, and therefore I am also able to receive the wisdom of source. So here we have, right, the sun tipping over into the 0 degree of Libra. This is bringing the sun into contact with the supergalactic center, which is at 2 degrees of Libra and exactly where the Hathor's asteroid is. So we're connecting not simply to the center of our galaxy, but to the center of the galaxies upon which, around which our galaxy is part, our neighbors, all spinning and cycling around this single point, which also itself spins and circles around another single point, and on and on and on and on and on and on. So here we have the beautiful sun, that amazing energy of love, light, flowing, flowing, and flowing, tipping over from the whole unto self into the balancing energies of Libra, bringing us with it into that state of equalization, bringing our entire beings energetically up to the next balance point. At this same time, Hecate is also at 0 degrees of Libra. So here we have the triple goddess, guardian of the crossroads, coming into union with the sun as the sun is tipping from Virgo to Libra, bringing us also to that moment, to that choice point where we can stay where we were, or we can move to the next. When we play with the crossroads, one of the things that can be really important to remember is it's not simply A, B. It's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and on and on and on. There's usually more than one choice to be made. And feeling each of those paths can be really, really powerful. Finding a place to center can also be really, really powerful. More on that in a minute. So we have the sun and Hecate at 0 degrees of Libra. Then, of course, we have the retrograde Pluto at 29 of Capricorn. So just before the sun tips, it will be passing through the underworld, through that retrograde Pluto Capricorn energy, that completion cycle energy, that cleaning house energy, that moment of revealing, digging deep, going into those recesses that we have kind of tried not to look at, and getting in deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and pulling it out. And then as it's shifted, finding that equalization point, right? And then, just to bring everything in really nice and neat into an earth and air grand trine, we have the moon at the moment of the equinox at 1 degree of Gemini. So almost exactly trine to where the sun will be as it shifts over into Libra. Now, it'll be a couple days before we reach the half moon, but this is a really beautiful energy to work with, to play with. And then over on the Taurus side, we have Magdalena, that reclamation, taking your seat at the table energy, not allowing yourself to be relegated off to the side, but taking your seat energy that is the Magdalena at 29 of Taurus. So here we have the moon and Magdalena also basically exactly conjunct the Pleiades. With Sedna along as well. Sedna's been playing in this area. Sedna is that Inuit goddess of the underworld, seal woman, she's sometimes called. She is the queen of the ocean underworld. She fosters that beautiful energy of divine mother in water form that is the ocean, the waters of this planet. And then, of course, we have the retrograde Uranus conjunct Algol. Can you feel how much we are being invited to explore our depths, to bring our consciousness into a greater relationship with the finest elements of our embodied form, to remember that every aspect of our embodied form is also an aspect of the divine. All of our cells, all of the particles, all of the micro beings that make up our physicality and the entire mattered universe are conscious elemental beings. And when we consciously remember that, it opens our hearts to feel more. And this is a big part of what we've been doing over in the members portal, the community, and also in the working circle. The working circle, we had a really powerful violet blue flame procedure that worked with expurgation and with the joining of waters. It was the joining of seawater and babbling brook water, and then filtered water that was gridded. And you can see the jar behind me here of the water that we worked with. This is a procedure a ceremony that I facilitate for all of us in the working circle every full moon. The nature of it changes every full moon as we move through the various energies, but we always work with the elements to help us connect deeper, expand more, to release with that beautiful full moon energy anything that we don't need to carry anymore. So in the Aquarius full moon, we worked a lot with the air element. In the Pisces full moon, we worked a lot with the water element. It doesn't always coincide with the element of the astrological sign of the full moon, but sometimes it does, and it has the last couple of months. But we call this the violet blue flame procedure because one of the main energies that we bring through as part of this working together is the energy of purification that is the violet flame, and the energy of divine love that is the blue flame, and how they intersect and interweave now and come into purifying with love, purifying love. So that was what we did for the full moon, and a bit of what we do, we really got into old scar tissue of the heart chakra, old scar tissue around the heart. Now, for the equinox, I am going to be heading over to an island in the middle of the San Francisco Bay called Angel Island. It was so named for the Virgin Mary, Mother of all angels. And there is a lot of Our Lady of Sorrows energy associated with Angel Island. At this location, I'm going to be facilitating a transmission and activation. It will be pre-recorded because there's no Wi-Fi there, and posting that up into our members portal working circle also. Part of this is going to be a Venus point activation, and if you haven't already explored the Venus point, I'm going to put a link below for the Venus point activation and transmission. That's free, so you can go ahead and explore what the Venus point might be for you. For each of us, the Venus point is a bridge between the amygdala and the vagus nerve that helps our processing of grief, of trauma, and of fear. It's an energetic point that came through to me for us to work with. This will be a recalibration of that for those of us in the working circle. If that's something that calls to you, you can check out the members portal, Patreon, and there's a bunch of different tiers that if one of them feels true for you. Feel. There was one more piece that I was asked to alight for us, and that is an opportunity for a centering meditation as we move in this liminal space between the Pisces full moon eclipse and the equinox itself. We are in this energy now. I'm recording this on Thursday. When we come to Friday, right around 1 p.m., 1:11 p.m. Pacific time, so whatever time that might be where you are on the planet, we will hit the almost exact midpoint between the full moon and the equinox. If you happen to be in a location where that coincides with sunset, amazing, because you could work with Venus and Arcturus at the sunset. Wherever you might be, working with Friday's sunset and the Arcturus Venus energies could be a really powerful meditation. If you are able to see the sunset from your location and actually sit in meditation with those stars as they appear in the blue hour night sky, as the sky shifts from golden hour to blue hour, and that dusk energy and those two stars, planet and star, pop out, working with them, inviting them to share messages with you, exploring where you're holding stuck, dense, stagnant trauma energies in your system, old ideas of what you deserve because of this, that, or the other thing. This is a really powerful place that Arcturus and Venus, when they move together, can help us access. A lot of us hold old ideas about who we are and who we can be, simply based on the family we were born into, the skin color that we have, the genitalia that we were born with, various economic, socio-cultural dogmas that have been ingrained into our bloodlines, and also that have been templated to us by those we grew up around. I had a dream when I was young that I was going to be a fashion designer, and it wasn't what I was actually meant to do, though I did do that for a little while in this life. It was actually me touching in on my life right before this one when I was a kid, but that's a whole other story. But when I was in 8th grade, I had an uncle who asked me, and he was not necessarily, he has his own wounds, and it's got a lot to do with who my grandfather was and who his father was and all of the things, right? But he asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I told him that I wanted to be a fashion designer. And he took one look at me and he just said, "Do you see who you are? Do you see who your parents are? Do you see what you come from? You need to aim way lower than that." And it hit me deep in a place of I'm helpless and I have no power. And because my family is very poor, we can't have these dreams I'm not allowed to have that dream. Now, I obviously, because I was a fashion designer for a little while, moved through that. And it was actually what I moved through as I was going through a dark night of the soul and very, very, very sick for many, many years. And it was moving through that that also helped me reclaim my health. So you see how everything's interwoven through that story, and feel as you're exploring these old programs, these old dogmas that have been placed, that you've internalized about who you are because of XYZ, can affect so many different things. And so invite Venus, invite Arcturus, this stellar dimension that is where we plan our soul journeys and where we go to review the journey that we just completed, to move between dimensions and galaxies and universes. Inviting these energies to say, oh, here is a connection point between various potentialities. Here is an old idea that you're holding. You might view this as a spider web. If you turn it just like this, it can open up a whole new field for you. You won't be stuck in that point. You might want to journal after you sit with the stars. You might even want to have a pen and paper with you as you sit with Venus and Arcturus, however you're called to journey. Maybe you, let me feel. Maybe you go have a shower or a bath after you sit with them, or a special brew of tea. Maybe you just lay on your back as the stars pop out more and more and more, and really connect with the earth. Your way is exactly how it should be. I'm just providing some ideas. And so, if it calls to come over to the portal, come on over to the portal. Grab the chart, see if there's anything that coincides with what you've got going on in your personal natal chart. If it calls to join one of the paid tiers and be part of the Angel Island Venus Point calibration, amazing. If it calls to check out the Venus Point activation and transmission that was facilitated a couple of years ago, amazing. If it's something else, also amazing. So much of this energy is about your authentic truth, your state of being, and what you as a being of divine light need to continue your cycle. Depths diving, expanding out, opening up to receive more light, anchoring light into the earth. Whatever your unique light worker template needs to help you move through this, I am simply holding a torch, as Hecate would. Let me feel if there's one last little nugget that wants to be revealed. For those of us in the working circle, after the equinox event has been recorded, later that afternoon, evening, I will be uploading it to our working circle. And I am going to share more, as well as the card that came through today for us in the community space. I think that's all. Please do leave me a comment or like and subscribe and or all the things. Share the video if that is what calls, and however you're called to journey. As always, in the always, so much and many loves to you from, through, and beyond the all dimensions. Thank you.